Hi, everyone. Welcome to our One World Energy Encounter with the Zohar. This week, we are in volume 12. It's the portion of Vayakhel. And as we do each week, let's invite in the Kabbalistic lineage of the Rav and Karen Michael, Rabbi Schlag, Rav Brandwein, the Riyah Kodesh, the Ramchal, Rabbi Tarfon, Rav Abba Mazulai, Rabbi Nachman Mendel of Vitebsk, Rav Kolon Shapira Piasetzna, the Baal Shem Tov, Rav Shimon Baruch Chai, and all the students, Rav Mordechai of Chernobyl, one soul with Yosef Tzadik and Shechem. So wherever we are in the world, this is our opportunity for us to connect to the energy of the Zohar, the Or HaGanuz, the hidden light. After creation, the light of the Creator, which is everywhere, was hidden. And we can access it through the letters, the volumes, the wisdom of Kabbalah, of the Zohar. And so we are accessing that hidden light for the purpose of spreading the energy of peace all over the world, ending the wars that are going on, specifically between Russia and Ukraine, and also ending the war in Israel, the safe return for all the hostages in Israel, protection for all those innocents that are in harm's way. Also, the energy of healing for those who need healing, and energy of assistance and comfort for those souls that are transitioning. Energy of protection from evil eye and evil speech, removing and diffusing negative energy in our world, in our midst, in our little zip code, wherever we are. Also, the energy of Ahavat Chinam, unconditional love. We want to channel that, and also treating everyone with human decency. Does someone volunteer to read English for us today? Thanks, Roshan. Okay, we are at verse 217. The article is called The Secret of the Torah Scroll. Now, just by way of background, well, let's read the Zohar first. Let's connect to the inner energy of what we know to be the scroll, the books, the 5 books of Moses, the Torah, that is literally ink on parchment that's read roughly 4 times a week. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. But again, verse 217. Raza de Sefer Torah Yamada ha'ukmua tanenan kativ. V'ikru b'Sefer Torah ha'elokim meforash v'shom sechel v'yavinu v'mikra v'ha'ukmuha raza. D'inun pisukei ta'ameh u'masoret v'chol inun d'yoknin v'razin ilain kola it mesar l'Moshe misinai. I b'chol hane d'yukin it mesar oraita l'Moshe. Sefer Torah de'i b'chol inun kedushan amai ihu chaser mikol hane tikunin v'razin dit mesaru le l'Moshe ba'oraita. Okay, so before we read the English, let's just keep in mind that before we read the English, just keep in mind for a second that we're talking about literally a parchment with ink on it, black ink on white parchment, with roughly 53 portions that are not so easy to tell where things start and where things stop. There's no notes, there's no vowels, there's no punctuation. It's just letters with seemingly random spaces. Some spaces make sense, some don't make sense at all. And so this is what we read from. And the question I've always wondered is, well, why don't we just put the punctuation and the vowels in there and the notes? Make it a lot easier for anyone can read it then. Because the people that actually do the reading have to know it cold. They have to be able to look at it and through their study, see the vowels, see the notes, see the end of sentences, see the end of portions. I mean, it's a tall order. Plenty of people can do it, but it's not for everyone. It takes a lot of practice. So the question, why is that? And what exactly is going on when we connect to the scroll? And there's a lot that's going on. Now, just so we're clear, we read an entire portion every Saturday morning. And we also read the first of 7 sections Saturday afternoon, Monday morning, and Thursday morning. And the reasons why, which we're not going to get into, why those particular times we're connecting to that particular portion of the week. But so just so we understand at a very important level, every week has its own internal energy. And when we are connecting to the reading, we are connecting to the energy of that week with the ability to remove chaos from our lives for the week to come. So Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, we're going to read the portion of Vayakhel, and part of what we're connecting to is the removal of chaos from our world for the week to come. And it's like, you never want to go more than 7 days without that opportunity to remove chaos. And I'm not saying you're going to have a more chaotic week or not. I don't know. We don't know anything. But we do know that the energy that the scroll assists us in connecting to and channeling for the world is energy that removes chaos for the week ahead. And by that, I mean, we want a life without any chaos. We want things to play out exactly as we want them to play out. Fulfillment, soulmate energy, healing, immortality, fulfillment. That's what we want. We don't experience that, but it doesn't mean it's not there. It's just in potential. It's available. It's just not there. So that's by way of background, but let's take a little deeper dive into exactly what is the scroll and what secrets are there that are not so obvious. And I want to say, like, a lot of this stuff, I feel sometimes when we're studying Kabbalah, we're only mastering the obvious. That's all we're really doing. Because at a certain level, we know this stuff. Okay, Roshin, the English for 217.
217. The reason of reading the Torah scroll on that day was already expounded.
Okay, so we just talked about it. Why we read it on Saturday. By the way, specifically, we read the whole thing on Saturday mornings because, within Vayakhel, there are many sections in the Zohar that discuss the significance of Shabbat. But part of what goes on is it's an easier opportunity for us to connect to the upper realm, to the flawless universe. And so in that context, we can read the Torah Monday, Thursday, but it's not the same depth of spiritual connection that we have on Shabbat. Okay, keep going.
We learned that so they read in the book, in the Torah scroll of Elohim distinctly, and gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading.
Okay, so the Zohar, in helping us understand the deeper meaning of the Torah, brings a verse down from Nehemiah. Nehemiah is one of the prophets that preceded the building of the second temple. So the first temple was destroyed. The children of Israel were dispersed. And then two guys, Ezra and Nehemiah and others, but Ezra and Nehemiah came and they're like, we got to go back and we got to rebuild the temple. And eventually it was. So like they had to re-educate the people. So from a historical perspective, which may or may not be important, that's what Nehemiah was doing. But for us, it's no different now. We don't live during the time where there is a temple in Jerusalem. We don't have that. Neither did the people who were around in Nehemiah's time. They had to be re-educated about the significance of all the tools and opportunities and windows in time that we have. And so for us, this is our opportunity to also connect in a much deeper way to the reality of the spiritual, the metaphysical world that is beyond what our five senses tell us is available to us. Okay, keep going.
We also explained that the mysteries of the verse divisions, the tonal accents, the Masoretic readings, and all the small details, together with the supernal secrets, were given to Moses on Mount Sinai.
Okay, so we have a scroll. It's a story. Our teachers tell us that it's a code. The 5 books of Moses are a code. I mean, you could take it literally, but it's not meant to be taken literally. It's meant to be unpacked, to be understood in a much deeper way. So we read the scroll, but there's just one problem. The mysteries of like how the verses are divided, like when a sentence ends, literally, is not in there. What are the notes that are supposed to use when reading it? The Masoretic understandings, which we know as the Masorah, the deeper understanding of what this all means. And all those little details, from the way the letters are constructed to the crowns that are on certain letters, they're all deep, deep, deep secrets. Well, where'd they come from? I mean, we come across information all the time. I mean, we literally live in a world where you can't source anything anymore. I mean, you can try, but it's like, talk about open sourcing. Like, information comes from all kinds of places. We don't know where it's coming from. We don't know what's true and what's not true. It's almost like objective truth is gone. I mean, maybe once upon a time it was objective truth. Maybe it wasn't objective truth then either. But now, with the explosion of this information age, we thought, well, with more access to information, the world would become a kinder, gentler, more loving, more tolerant place. It appears to be exactly the opposite. Because we don't know what's true and what's not anymore. There is one thing we know, because the Zohar tells us, and that is all these secrets originated from when Moses was on Mount Sinai, which we read about last week. And last week we also read about the sin of the golden calf. But the Mount Sinai is known as the revelation event because all the secrets were revealed to him. All the aspects of everything, of reality, were revealed to him. It's not like we have multiple parties who were given these deep secrets. It all goes back to Moses and Mount Sinai. And that was the significance of the event. So one of the things that the Kabbalists teach is that for the sin of the golden calf, everything was revealed. And once again, immortality was present, just like it was in the Garden of Eden. We had returned to that Garden of Eden reality. And then we lost it because we panicked in the 11th hour and built the golden calf, and that created a new reality, the reality we have now. But we still have access to that energy that was revealed there. It's just hidden. It's hidden in different places. Just like I mentioned at the outside, that we have this Or HaGanuz, this hidden light that was available and it isn't available, but we do access that through the Zohar. The Zohar itself is embedded with that Or HaGanuz, that hidden light. And so when we connect to it, that is why it is so powerful. Okay, keep going.
He asks, if the Torah was given to Moses together with all these details, and the Torah scroll given with these sanctities, why then is it lacking all those corrections and mysteries that were given to Moses inside the Torah?
Okay, so this is the question that I think it's logical to ask. If it was all given, why isn't it disclosed? Why isn't it written in? Why isn't it disclosed? What's the big secret? Why is it not there? Why don't we have a Torah scroll with vowels and punctuation and notes, and then like little scribbles along the side with a deeper understanding? We have them published. We have books. Why isn't it in this scroll? What's so special about the scroll? Okay, 218. Now, by the way, for us, this is our life. This is what we're talking about. All these things that are going on, we don't know the reasons for it. We have no idea the things that are going on in our life. We don't know what's going on. We try to make decisions, but we don't have full information, and we don't know what the outcome is going to be. It's a great podcast. If I remember, I'll post it to our WhatsApp group. There's a great podcast that Michael and Monica did this week where they brought on a Harvard and Yale educated woman who all of her work is all about mindfulness. She's referred to as the mother of mindfulness. And she knows all the studies that have been done about healing, self-healing, about the limitations we place on ourselves limit the kind of life that we have. I'm not doing the whole interview justice. It's really very worthwhile to listen to. But one of the things that she says is that we're the ones who put the limitations in our way. Okay. Let's continue. Did I read the Aramaic yet? No. Okay, 218. Oh, one of the things that she says, now I remember what the point I was going to make. One thing she says is, you never know the outcome of a single decision you make. You just don't know. I mean, we think we know, we try and figure it out, but rarely is it exactly the way we thought it was going to be. And she said, that's why don't get so hung up about the decisions you make. Make a decision and just make the best of it. Because we really don't know. So in a great way, our life is a series of decisions we make where we just don't know what the outcomes are going to be. And so we navigate life without all the information. And to a certain degree, we're navigating the Torah reading also without all this, without a deeper understanding of everything that it does and everything that it means. We just don't know. We are limited. We have a body consciousness. We struggle to connect with our soul. We have an easier opportunity to connect with our soul on Shabbat. That's why we created all these restrictions. Well, we have all these restrictions to assist us in making that deeper soul connection, because when we make that deeper soul connection, we receive guidance on the decisions we make, but we still don't know where we're going and what direction it's taking us in. Okay, verse 218. Elaraza dakad kursayad kadisha mit atra vit klilat batorah shebechtav kol inun diuknin v'chol inun ta'amin masorat kulahu alin big nizu v'itrishimu bagod kursayad kadisha v'inun diuknin da'il oraita shebechtav v'oraita diva'al peh v'vuhu it abrat ke'atata it abrat min dechura Vishta'aru atvan ilaim lechodaihu bikdushaihu kadkachaze ulitchaza'a bevekanishta dahait barchat vit atrat kursia meraza the Torah shebechtav v'taman a'il kolinin dioknin v'iyu it kadshat mine ba'il atchaza'a ba'atvan lechodaihu kadka yeot.
He answers, the secret of the matter is that when the Holy Throne Malchut is decorated by and incorporated in the written law, Tiferet, then all those punctuation marks, tonal accents, and Masoretic points are impressed upon the Holy Throne from Tiferet and concealed therein.
Okay, so we have what's known as the written law. That is the scroll of the Torah. That's the 5 books of Moses. It's what's referred to as the written law. And the secret is that within our realm, within Malchut, even though our realm is blessed with all these deep secrets, they are concealed. They are concealed. Okay, continue.
On the other hand, the shapes, letters of the written law, Tiferet, are brought into the oral law, Malchut, and caused her to conceive as a woman conceiving from the male.
Excuse me? So we have this meeting of the upper realm and the lower realm in the context of the Torah reading. In other words, when the reader gets up there and reads it, he is projecting the vowels, the notes, and an understanding as to what's going on. He's manifesting it through the reading. So part of what's happening with the actual reading is a manifestation of energy from the upper realm. It's being revealed in the reading. He looks at the letters, he sees at a deeper level, because he's not seeing with his eyes. He sees it at an intuitive level, what exactly is missing, and that's what he projects. So it is a manifestation of those secrets, much like when a woman conceives from the male, we're taking life from the upper realm and manifesting it in physicality. It's something we're always trying to do. We're always trying to find a way to manifest the supernal energy in our world. By manifesting that supernal energy, we create a better world. We create a more peaceful world, a more loving world. We create a better world because there is no pain and suffering in the upper realm. There is no lack of human decency in the upper realm. Those are aspects of physicality. And so all the things we do are the things that we are uniquely positioned for to manifest in the world. It's like we sit as a bridge between the upper realm and physicality. Like that's part of our superpower. We're sitting on that conduit. We're sitting and we're channels. We are channels between those two worlds. And how do we channel it? By doing different things. But it starts with a consciousness. And manifestation is when we're doing physical things aligned with that consciousness. We can do physical things, but no consciousness, no manifestation. It needs both. It needs an upper realm consciousness and then actions that manifest. And so when the reader is reading the Torah, he knows how it's supposed to be read, and he's doing something physically to manifest it. So that's us, literally. And the Zohar goes into it's not the Zohar. When the Torah is taken out and read, it's as if we are back at Mount Sinai and Moses is sharing that teaching with us. And that's the role that the reader plays. That's why there's only one reader at a time. We're literally connecting to what took place on Mount Sinai. The ark is closed, but then it's opened. We bring the scroll out. We are manifesting all that energy, that hidden energy. We're connecting at a level of chokhmah when that ark is opened. And then the scroll is placed down and it's opened up, and you have 3 columns. You have 2 rolled columns and then a center column, which is actually being read. So then it is a manifestation of energy through Zeran Pin. The upper realm energy is being manifest into Malchut, into our world. And that's why the things are hidden. Because we're the ones who are supposed to be manifesting that with a consciousness of elevating our world. Okay, keep going.
So the high letters of the written law remain alone in their sanctity as should be, without additional signs, and are thus shown in synagogue.
So that's what happens. We take it out. It's just the letters. It's bare bones. Go ahead.
For the throne, Malchut is blessed and adorned by the secret of the written law, and in it, in Malchut, are put all those shapes, which are accents and Masoretic greetings, as mentioned. So it is sanctified by the written law. The bare letters alone ought to be seen.
That's it. The rest is hidden. Yes, Suzanne.
So I was listening last night to Batya. I think it's Solomon, right? She does the prosperity principles. I don't know if you guys listened to this week's session. And it was really cool because she talked about, she elaborated on what you just said, David, about the consciousness part. It was really cool where she said, she's reiterating basically what you just said in those 3 categories, right? Like you're connecting to the wisdom, you're connecting to, she really breaks apart the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the unconscious mind. And she talked about how the unconscious mind is in the upper realms, the upper 3 Sephirot, right? And then the subconscious is Zeran Pin. And then obviously consciousness or conscious is Malchut. And
Right.
you guys are, I don't know, I would just recommend everybody listen to it, even if it's just for that last half hour, because it's jam-packed with a ton of stuff. But that in itself, I was just like, wow, it's like right before I go to bed, but I was just like, wow, it was super cool. And it really ties into the Shabbat thing this week and all that.
Yeah,
So
no,
thank
for
you.
sure. No, I'm glad thanks for sharing that. I mean, it's this, aligned with that is this idea that when we have a good idea, it's not us. But where did it come from? I mean, it came from It comes from the upper realm through our soul. We're just not conscious of it. It finds its way into our waking consciousness. You know, it's also an opportunity for us. We don't realize it. Like, there's like a streaming program going on here, very sophisticated streaming. It was more sophisticated than Netflix. There's a stream over here, multi-layered stream. There are deep thoughts which are in our unconscious. There are deep thoughts less deep in our subconscious, and then there's what we're aware of. And what we're aware of is very little. 1%.
You know what else she said, you guys? I think you're gonna love it. She also said that when all three are aligned, that is when you have flow and you have this abundance. So to me, it's like, yeah, why are we here? We're here to bring more light into the world. But wow, I mean, it just gives all new meaning, right? To break that whole thing apart from upper worlds to Zerampin all the way down into Malhut. And she goes, yeah, the people that have it all rocking for them and going on, and these opportunities just meet. She goes, it's because the three levels of consciousness are aligned. I was just like, isn't that cool? I mean, it's so simple.
Right. And that also,
it's so cool.
That's also why, like, and the Zohars for this week actually go into like why it's so important to be joyful on Shabbat. Like, it's easier to be joyful on Shabbat because that's the energy that's there. Like, we have to connect to that. But whenever we're joyful, we are able to connect to our soul. When we are reactive, when we're active, for whether it's anger or whether we're reactive and it's sadness or it's frustration or whatever it is, we've created, like, we've disturbed that flow. We've created like an energetic field that disrupts the normal flow. All right, well, David, that makes sense, but like, how do I avoid that reactivity? Well, with our consciousness and the tools, and giving us, and with some self-love, because we're gonna react. So we're gonna lose that connection. But we then have to say to ourselves, okay, this is coming from the light, and reconnect and realign so that energy flows, so that supernal energy, that supernal consciousness, that we're connecting to it, and facilitating more blessings showing up in the world. Okay, Roshin, continue. Unless we finished it. No, I think we finished it. Let's go to verse 219. Uchdein kola itkadash b'kedusha ila'a katka chazeh v'kol shekain b'hayoma ba'ila salka shiva guvrin lakavel shiva kalin di'inun razad oraita uvizmanin uvmo'adin chamesh go razada biyoma dechipure shit go raza ila'a da.
Then everything is sanctified with most holy sanctity as fit, most certainly, and especially on this day, Shabbat.
Okay, so again, it's like all this ability to channel this holy energy and infuse our world with this energy from the upper realm is easier to do on Shabbat. The worlds are more aligned on Shabbat. The flow is easier to connect with. And so, listen, it's 12:50 local time, Central Time right now. The energy of Shabbat is already infusing our world. One of the reasons why I picked this time to do this class is because we're benefiting from this energy of Shabbat that our realm is being infused with. It's already starting. And so we want to try and be feeling that. We want to connect to that. Okay. Keep going. On this day.
Thank you. On this day, 7 people are called up to publicly read the Torah.
Okay, so Shabbat morning, we bring the scroll out. We have this tremendous opportunity to channel this amazing energy. There are 7 portions read. Why 7? Keep going.
They correspond to 7 voices. Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and Malchut of Zeir Anpin, which are the inner mystery of the Torah, Zeir Anpin.
Okay, so we know, and as we've discussed, every column in the scroll starts with the letter Vav, which is 6, which is the energy of Zeir Anpin. It's as if the energy that the letters that show there are coming, like that Vav, that first letter is the seed level for that column. Each column is as if it's flowing from that Vav of the pen of the scribe that writes that column. He writes a Vav and then he writes that whole column. It's literally the energy of Zeir Anpin that's manifesting in Malchut. Now, every column starts with a Vav. There are 6 exceptions that don't start with the Vav, but every other column starts with a Vav. And so, why? Because you have the 6 of Zeir Anpin, the Vav, and then you have manifestations, Malchut, it's 7. So that is why we call 7 up to the Torah. We're creating this unity between upper realm, Zeir Anpin, the 6 Sfirot, and Malchut, manifestation, our realm. That's why we call 7 up, because that's the significance of the 7th day of Shabbat. Now you might be thinking, wait a second, that's the 7th day? Isn't Sunday the first? Isn't Monday the first day? No, that's on the Gregorian calendar. On the Kabbalistic calendar, Sunday's the first day. Saturday's the 7th day. Even the Seventh-day Adventists know that. Saturday is the Shabbat. It's the 7th day. It's the day of manifestation. Okay, keep going.
On festivals, only 5 people are called up in accordance with this principle, because the 7 Sephirot are principally 5. Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, and Hod. Yesod is their inclusion from the giving part, and Malchut includes them on the receiving part.
Okay, so the Zohar is pointing out that, okay, well, on Shabbat there are 7. On holidays, on festivals, there's only 5. Why? Why the difference? Because the last 2, Yesod, all the energy that flows into our world is coming through Yesod. And the 7th is Malchut, manifestation. All the energy coming through Yesod is manifesting in Malchut. So really, we only really need those 5 above on a holiday to connect to those, because we're already connecting to the giving and the receiving of Yesod and Malchut. Okay, keep going. On Yom Kippur.
On Yom Kippur. On Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement, 6 people are called up according to this higher mystery. There's the 6 Sephirot of Zeir Anpin. Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, and Yesod of Zeir Anpin.
So here's a real deep secret. On Yom Kippur, there's only 6. Why? It's not Saturday. We're just correcting. We don't need Malchut. We're connecting directly to Zeir Anpin and the upper realm through them. Now it begs the question, what's more important? What's the more significant window in time? Yom Kippur or Shabbat? Well, if you're counting the number of people that are called up, Shabbat is the more significant opportunity for connection. And really, that's what our teachers tell us. It happens once a week, and it is the most significant opportunity to channel blessings. Okay, let's continue. 220. V'chol razachada chamesh de'inun chamesh dargim latata midarga de'or kadma'a latata de'inun raza doraita shit de'inun shit sitrin v'chol razachada sheva inun sheva kalin v'chol razachada ilain ve'ilain.
All those rules, he explains, come from the same principle. The 5 people called up on holidays correspond to the 5 grades, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, and Hod, that are beneath the grade of the ancient light, Bina, and the first 3 Sefirot below in Zer Anpin.
Okay, so those 5 that are called up on holidays, again, it's about connecting to those 5 Sefirot that are above Malchut and that are above Yesod. Because the light from the upper realm is flowing into those 5. And that's what we want to connect to. Go ahead.
They are the secret of the Torah, for Zer Anpin is called Torah.
Again,
This-
as we've discussed on numerous occasions, that's what we're connecting to. When we read the Torah, we are connecting to Zer Anpin, that the upper realm. When we read the Zohar, where are we connecting to? Binah. It's the Or HaGanuz, it's the hidden light. It's a different energetic connection. Go ahead.
The 6 people on Yom Kippur correspond to the 6 directions, that is, the 5 Sefirot, a Yesod that includes them. All comes from the same mystery.
What is that
Whether it-
mystery? What does that mean, the same mystery? This is the mystery of this is the tree of life. These are the 10 Sefirot. It is the tree of life. It doesn't have, it's not logic. It's the reality. It's the HVAC system for our reality, how blessings arrive in our world. And understanding how different windows in time correspond to different opportunities, correspond to different number of people we're calling up. It's all geared towards these hidden secrets of like, what's the code number to open up the hidden secrets? It depends on what the window in time is and the internal energy that's available. And so everything we're doing, everything what the Zohar is explaining to us is aligning with the inner energy of these windows in time. Go ahead.
For there is no addition to the principal 5 Sefirot. The 7 people called up on Shabbat correspond to the 7 voices, for Malchut includes them too. All these combinations stem from the one secret, namely, that they allude to the Sefirot of Zer Anpin.
Why are they called voices? Why are the 7 Sefirot called voices? There's actually a psalm, one of the Tehillim that David wrote, that is sung Friday night before L'cha Dodi in the Friday night connection, and also in other times when we are returning the Torah to the Ark, where it refers to voice, call 7 times. Each one corresponding to the Sefirot. Well, why is a Sefirah? Why is a channel of unique energy from the upper realm? In what way is it a voice?
Well, metaphorically, couldn't you say that it speaks to us? Like to
Yeah,
our
I like
soul?
that very much. It clearly speaks to us, but it speaks to us to the degree that we're connected to at a soul level. There's a resonance. And each of those channels is a slightly different resonance because it's a different aspect of the Creator. Separate and apart from us? No. We have a spark of the Creator inside us also.
Well, also, Sphira comes from the root to tell. It's not only to tell, to count. So the sipur means history. Lesaper is a verb that means to tell.
It's
So
it's to give over,
it's
yes.
coming from this root where you're telling something.
Right.
It's probably related to that too.
Totally. So like this is like how, and again, our voice is how we channel blessings in what we're saying. As ultimately, these are all vibrational frequencies. That's what it is. It's all energy. So the Sefirot are energy also. They're unique vibrational frequencies that we connect with. And knowing the unique inner energy on a particular window in time, whether it's Shabbat, the holidays, Yom Kippur, knowing what that inner energy is, we want to connect in the way that complements that energy, the same vibrational frequency. And so on Shabbat, which we will be connecting to this evening, although already the energy, the vibrational energy is already infusing our world. But as we connect to it, we're connecting to Zeranpin, to the connection between the upper realm of Zeranpin and our realm of Malchut. That's 7 channels of vibrational frequencies that are available to us that we want to pause and be mindful of. And what does it mean to be mindful? So this woman whose name escapes me on the podcast, she said, well, she defines mindful as sing something new. It's like we're so present to what's going on, we see something we didn't see before. So our challenges as we approach Shabbat this evening and as we spend it tomorrow and all the ways that we have opportunities to connect, that we're seeing something new, that we're experiencing something new, that we're hearing those voices and tapping into and connecting to the vibrational frequency available to us. Okay, everybody. We're out of time. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you all for joining.
Thank
Have a
you.
great-
Shabbat
Love you all.
shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.